All right, so it's time to do a mail call podcast.
Is it that time already?
We were so off yesterday. Primarily, I was off, but JP, you just fell into peer pressure and just went right along with me.
Well, no, I still give credence to the lost civilization theory.
No, that's not.
That's not what you're talking about.
No, I'm talking about the fact that yesterday when we got done with our random ramblings, we were like, all right, we'll see you guys on Monday. No podcast tomorrow because for some reason, I was thinking it was Thursday. And then that didn't get helped when JP didn't correct me and was like, yeah, I think we're good.
I thought we weren't going to do these anymore.
When did we say that?
I thought you said it yesterday.
I never said it.
Oh.
The mail calls are my favorites. Even though we don't get that many questions anymore, so if we don't get too many more questions, we might end up stopping them. But right now, while there are still questions, we'll still have answers.
Okay.
But we are the Podcasting Dead. I'm Justin.
Yeah, and I'm JP.
And we're just going to take a look at last week's mail call video and some of the others and answer some questions. That don't forget to, if you ever, we'll look for them, but if you ever put a question on a video that's not a mail call podcast, hashtag it with mail call. It makes it a lot easier for us to sift through the comments. But before we begin, social media, follow JP on Periscope. I promise you'll be entertained. You might even get to see us do our podcast live every now and again.
Yep.
That's Jaypeazy, Jaypeazy, right?
Yeah, Jaypeazy.
Jaypeazy or at JPSlim.
Mm-hmm.
And then on Snapchat, he's J_Radsaw.
Yeah.
Mine's super easy. I'm Justin Lloyd, all lowercase, 2 L's in Lloyd, no apostrophe. Just I'm Justin Lloyd.
I thought you were saying your screen name is I'm super easy.
No.
That'd be a good one.
That would be a good one.
You know,
yeah.
Pretty easy to slip in the sheets.
Emma?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Everything I've, all my research.
You speak like you know from experience.
That's another podcast.
What did you put in my drink?
Don't worry about it.
This is why it took so long for you to convince me to go out drinking with you, and I don't think it's going to happen again.
Nothing wrong with a little Spanish fly every now and then, pal.
I think it is. Just I'm Justin Lloyd, all lowercase, no apostrophes, 2 L's in Lloyd, and that's on Snapchat, Instagram, and Periscope. So let's get to the comments. Before we get to the comments on the video, though, let me read you a message from a listener.
A message to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
His name is Javier.
Oh, hello,
Javier. He messaged his PS4 ID. And I'll add him, and and that's the thing. If you're a gamer and you game, let me know. I mean, send me your gamer tag. I'll add you, and we can. I don't play it all the time, but I mean, when I am on, if I'm playing, I'm happy to play around with you. But he sent a message and asked, "What was your Instagram?"
I don't have no Instagram.
And I had to sadly inform him that you didn't have one.
I don't be taking pictures like talking about.
I need to use my Instagram more. I used to use it, but I hadn't used it much.
I really don't have a clear conception of what it is exactly. I know it has to do with pictures.
Instagram is like Facebook, but without all the BS and far less political opinion. It's just
I go on for the BS though.
Well, then you probably wouldn't like Instagram.
Sounds like Instagram just like feeds people's vanity. Just look at these pictures of me. I'm beautiful. I'm exciting. I'm going to the Grand Canyon.
You're right. You're right.
There's no substance. Just look at me. Just look at me.
Please,
disgusting.
Dear God, I never want to hear that
disgusting.
Again. Sound like an old man having an orgasm.
We're in a society in decline, and I'm just about ready to abandon it.
Me too, but still. No, I like Instagram a little better just because I don't have to hear people's opinions. I mean, some people post cool pictures of different places and stuff they go. But you're right. It definitely does feed vanity, but so does Facebook. So does Snapchat. There's vanity in all forms of social media. There's vanity on YouTube. Yeah. But let's get into it. Tyler says, not a question or spoiler, but I'm hearing a lot of people think they're,
Is that all Javier had to say to me?
No, yeah. I mean, he just basically asked, but I just want to let you know that somebody was thinking about you.
Okay.
It's always nice to know that someone was asking about you, right?
Well, there you go. All right.
I'm not going to read this one. You can read it in the comments section, but it's actually from Tyler, and he says, and Tyler, man, we appreciate the hell out of you listening, so don't think we're being disrespectful by not reading this, but JP does not like any form
I can leave the room if you want.
Of spoiler.
You want me to leave the room?
No.
Okay.
JP doesn't like any, and I know that what you're saying is that it's just a rumor, but if that did happen, that would be a huge, huge shock, and JP would be very angry with me if I read that out loud. So I'm going to pass on that one. But if that happened, That would be really cool, man. That would be really, 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 really cool. I don't know if it is, but man, that would be awesome. Marcy says, where'd the third guy from your Walking Dead podcast disappear? Nonetheless, awesome podcast.
Well,
thank you. Matt just doesn't really watch The Walking Dead. He doesn't come in as early as we do. And like I said, The Walking Dead, we got to the point where we were podcasting about it, and Matt wasn't watching it. He was just kind of just commenting on what we were talking about, and it just wasn't fun for him anymore. You know, it's just not
pursuing other things. You know, live theater and
prostitution.
Yeah.
I hear that's. I hear that it. You know, he was a little slow out the gate, but I hear he's starting to. I'm just playing. Matt's not a prostitute.
He's going through so much lubrication. He's filing it on his taxes as business expenses. He's getting in 5-gallon buckets.
He's pursuing other things. He's part of a great theater group called Smokestack here in our hometown. They do a lot of improv, a lot of. You know, he's a busy man, but no, we still got lots of love for him. He just, like I said, he wasn't enjoying The Walking Dead, so talking about it just wasn't really. And then on top of that, he doesn't come in until 11 versus we get here at like 6:30. So it's, let's see, one of our longtime favorites. You probably haven't heard me say this name in a while, Caitlin Howard.
Oh wow,
yeah, it's been a while, but she says,
I love Caitlin.
She says, hey, which she didn't put that many. She put like 2 or 3 Y's, but hey. Still listening, still loving you guys. My kids are super pissed that they can't listen to y'all's rambling podcast with me. They're convinced that The Walking Dead is just you guys talking about zombies, and they think they're missing part of the story when I don't let them hear the other posts. I do want to know what are y'all's favorite podcasts. I'm totally obsessed with my favorite murder right now, but want to discover a new one. Suggestions? You don't need to listen to any podcast but ours, Caitlin.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just playing. There's lots of awesome podcasts out there. JP, I actually don't listen to that many podcasts. JP does. JP, what are your...
I love, the obvious one, the biggest one out there right now, like Joe Rogan podcast. I really like that. Dan Carlin's Hardcore History, Veritas Radio, The Church of What's Happening Now with Joey Coco Diaz. There's a bunch of them. That's just a few off the top of my head.
Joey Coco Diaz, he's the one that's always like smoking weed and drinking when you go to his.
He doesn't really drink like talking about, but he does be hitting the bong and stuff. And
he's the one you follow. You got him on Periscope, right?
He doesn't really mess with Periscope anymore.
Huh? Is that what got you into Periscope?
Yeah, actually it was. And then I found the real slim fella on there. Now he's my dog. We hang out on Periscope.
Well, that's good to hear. I'm glad to see you're making new friends.
Yeah, man. All the way down in Baton Rouge.
And Caitlin, I'm sorry. I really don't have much to add on that. I want to start listening to other podcasts. I need to so we can learn, to be good. But, well, myself and JP does just fine. But
I'm telling you, man, a lot of stuff I bring up, especially on Wednesdays, man, comes from, Joe Rogan or this one or that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I know of one. Who's the dude that did Super High Me? What's his name?
Doug Benson.
Doug Benson. Now, he's got a podcast that Matt, the guy we used to podcast with, turned me on to.
Doug with High?
Is that what it is?
He's got a few.
I thought it was this one's about Doug does movies or something.
Doug Benson puts out a lot of great content. One is Getting Doug with High, where he has different guests on to get high with him.
Yeah, and, his stuff
Doug
is really
Does Movies
good.
Is great, too. He puts a lot of great stuff out there.
Yep, I very much enjoy his stuff. I'm having some technical difficulties here because I'm using my tablet and it won't let me read the comments all of a sudden.
Yeah, Doug Benson actually wasn't too far from here not that long ago, but it was the night of the Stallions reunion, so I didn't get to go.
Yeah. But Caitlin, I'm so thrilled to know that you're still out there. We appreciate it. You've been listening to us pretty much from the beginning.
Yeah,
love Caitlin. So it's awesome. Along with some of these others, like Jeep's been with us for a hot minute, and she says the radio stations around here, the Myrtle Beach area, all suck too, which is why I have Sirius in my truck. There's not even a good new rock metal station in this market. It's all mostly classic rock, country, and that sappy pop music. And all the stations play the same songs over and over.
Is that Caitlin Howard?
No, this is Jeep.
Oh, Jeep, gotcha.
I hear the same songs over and over. I hear Freebird twice a day when I'm at work because I'm stuck listening to classic rock. So my mail call question is, do you guys have like a 6-hour loop of music you go by? Or do you get to choose at least some of the music that you play during your shows? Yes. Don't tell our owner, but It's more than 6 hours, but we do have like the same loop over and over. But we do throw our own stuff in there sometimes. JP does a really good job on Country Legends. If the guy were ever to tune in, and I don't think he'd be. But JP, but it's all for a passion of country music. It's not just throwing stuff in and throw stuff in. JP throws JP loves, especially outlaw country music. Right. So he really does throws some really good stuff in there.
Yeah, and I like to incorporate. If it's something I'm talking about, like I just read a story about that woman who backed over her son. And I followed that by Roger Allen Wade's "If You're Going to Be Dumb, You Got to Be Tough."
Right. That's one of your favorite songs, though. You play that quite a bit over there.
On Outlaw Fridays, I'll play it.
Yeah.
I don't overplay it.
Well, that's what you think.
I mean, once a week compared to the same Travis Tritt song like twice a day.
No, I don't think you over. I'm giving you a hard time. I'm saying you wouldn't think whenever you're overplaying stuff. We never think we're overplaying stuff. But. The listeners, but Phyllis, would you guys be in favor of a spinoff with Daryl, Connie, Henry, Lydia, and Dog?
I'd give it a chance.
Also, do you guys watch Ride with Norman Reedus? If so, what do you think of it? Thanks. I don't watch Ride with Norman Reedus.
No, me neither.
I wouldn't mind watching it. I just hadn't got around to watching it, but it looks cool. But I guess that spinoff would be okay. I mean, at this point, I'm just going to follow it no matter what they do.
Like I said, I'd give it a chance. It'd either be good or it wouldn't, Depends on who's behind it, like creatively.
Yep. Dana the Doula says, not to be fresh, but did you just call out my name while you were talking to another woman? This podcast is hilarious. My fridge died. I spent an hour picking up dog shit in the yard, and my kids have play practice tonight, so FML. But I just laughed like hell, so thanks for that. I think it's when I was reading one of Brianne's comments last week, and I think I called her Dana because we had been reading one of Dana's.
It happened.
Or vice versa. I called Dana Brianne. I don't know, man.
Well, at least you weren't in bed with Brianne and called her Dana. That would really open up a can of worms.
That would be awkward. That's for sure. Do you ship Donnie or is that Carol? I don't even know what that means.
Do you ship Donnie or is that Carol?
Is ship like a new hip word here, or did he mean to put...
I don't know.
Is that...
Do you ship...
Brian Akeem, longtime listener, my friend, can you elaborate a little bit? Because Donnie? I don't know how you ship... Oh, Daryl and Connie. Like basically, or maybe what he's saying is, do you prefer the idea of Daryl and Connie or Daryl and Carol? Because he put Carol, but he spelled it Caryl, like Daryl, but with a C.
Man, Connie for sure. Carol just ain't sexy. I mean, I'm sorry.
Well, no, but so you would rather Daryl be with Connie, even though the long history that he and I would rather. Honestly, I like Connie a lot. I mean, if you listen to our podcasts about her, you'll find we both think a lot of her. I think Connie's awesome, but I mean, Daryl and Carol just have that long history. And now I would rather just see Daryl and Connie and King Ezekiel and Carol stay together because that all works. But I got a feeling King Ezekiel's not going to be around much longer. So when she's widowed, part of me would love to see Daryl and Carol get together. It's been a long time coming. They've got a great history, great chemistry.
Yeah, that doesn't mean... Would you smash Carol? Carol's old.
I mean, it's the apocalypse.
She ain't got no ass, no titties.
Daryl ain't been smashing nothing but his hand out in the woods, so I'm sure it don't really matter much to him.
He's got more options. I mean, most women on this show are freaking were apparently, part-time models before the apocalypse.
True that.
I'd be smashing Carol, man. I mean, a Carol, whatever the other one's name is.
You probably wouldn't smash anybody because he couldn't remember the names.
Well, I'd just be smashing everybody, just, I'd go like Alpha, just no names, just
wrong answer. But I would go more Daryl and Carol just because of the history and the on-screen chemistry. JP here is going with Daryl and
Carol
Connie.
In your mind right now having sex. Imagine that.
Melissa McBride is a pretty lady.
Dude, she is not a pretty lady. Maybe 30 years ago.
Do you think Jamie Lee? Do you think Jamie Lee Curtis was pretty?
30 years ago.
Melissa McBride's not for her, she's not a bad-looking woman.
Well, yeah.
I ain't saying I want to smash her. I'm talking about keep in mind that Norman Reedus is like 50. So, I mean, he's like, Daryl's right there at that age range.
He's kept himself in good shape. Is that a swap shop?
Yeah, but Carol's in decent shape.
Daryl is sexy, and Carol is not sexy. Carol's a great actress. She's fierce, but she's not sexy. You're not going to change my mind.
I ain't saying I'm not trying to even tell you that she's sexy. I'm saying that I think her and Daryl will be okay. Anyways, I'm Daryl Carroll. You're Daryl Connie.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Gross.
Well, you got to keep in mind, regardless of what you think of Carol, on top of that, Daryl hadn't showered in like a freaking decade. So, I mean.
Man, I would still have sex with Daryl before Carol. I'm sorry.
Are you serious? You would bang Norman Reedus before you would bang Melissa McBride?
Yeah, man, at least it give you something firm to grab onto.
Oh, my God.
You see what I'm saying?
Whatever floats your boat, man. I don't judge. Brianne McCann. Hello, boys. Okay, so today's question is, what's your best accomplishment in your own opinion? And getting butt JP doesn't count. I have no good accomplishments. I am a worthless piece of shit. I've been completely useless in my entire existence.
Yeah, I don't know.
JP, you've probably got some accomplishments. Tell us what you've done.
I mean, I don't know if I've made any big chain, I don't know if I've helped humanity on a grander scale. I mean, I try to, make people happy in the day-to-day. I mean, Bukowski said, if you want to be charitable, think more about the people in your day-to-day life instead of like the kids in Uganda or something. I mean, I don't know, man. I've been on the rise the last couple of years, just a big thanks to you. I mean, just getting into radio business and stuff. I mean, so.
I haven't accomplished much. I think about it. I mean, maybe this podcast. I don't know. I really can't think of anything. I'm going to be a dad. I guess that'll be my greatest accomplishment.
You slipped one past the goalie. That's good.
Yeah.
I think my greatest accomplishment may be that I'm not a dad,
That was my plan for the rest of my existence, but
well, you got
a moment of weakness equals 18 years of child support. But
you got somebody to take care of you when you're old and, you can't wipe your own ass. I ain't got that. I'll just have to commit suicide,
Don't say that. That's so depressing.
I'm just saying, man. I mean, you get old and you can't, if I can't go to the bathroom without assistance, I don't want to be on this earth.
Oh, I don't either.
So, I mean, and you...
I've said that. I've said that for a long time. If I get to the point where you're having to wipe my ass, man, I promise you I'm okay with, like, smother me with a pillow or something. Like, I'm cool with it.
I mean, I don't want to get heavy, but, the ordeal I just went through my cousin, man. I mean, I had to lift his bony body up so my mom could wipe his ass, his dick flopping there with a tube hanging out of it, man. That's what burns.
It's got to be rough, man. I hate that for you.
I'm just not even for me. I'm just saying... being in that position, like being the guy in the bed, man.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't either.
Nah, man.
I want to die in the heat of battle with some dignity. I'm not in, I doubt that'll ever happen, but I'm just saying. No, I don't want to get to that point either, man.
No, man, it is rough. But like I said, you'll have kids to take care of you.
I have a kid. I'm not having no more kids.
Well,
I'll tell you right now. No, I do. I said I was never having one kid, and I let my guard down once, and I can tell you that is not ever happening again.
And I'm telling you, man, not just even talking about kids. You're lucky in the sense that you're not an only child. Like, when it comes time for my mom for like elder care, like. It's all on me.
Oh, I watched it with my dad. My dad was an only child, and when his mom his mom died, his dad died first. When his mom died, it's rough, man. I mean, everything is on you. It all falls on your shoulders to do funeral planning, finances, what to do with their estate, what to do with their belongings. I mean, that's entirely on you.
Yeah, man, you're lucky you got two sisters, and sisters always take better care of their mothers, according to The Sopranos, anyway.
Well, my sister, one of my sisters, I don't think could exist without my mom. So, yeah, I'm sure she'll take care of her.
Yeah.
But yeah. So sorry for the answer, Brianne. I really can't think of anything.
What was the question? I don't
what are our best accomplishments?
Oh man, we really went down a dark alley there.
We did.
Yeah, I think it's because we both feel very unfulfilled in our lives.
Probably, yeah, absolutely.
But man, you got more going for you. A nice little home. You're captain of the ship here at the radio station. Things could certainly be worse.
Yeah, they could be worse, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm just not feeling very optimistic today. I apologize. Usually I try to be the optimistic one today. I just want to tell it today, if anybody that crosses me is going to get a big go yourself. So, and that's great considering I have to do a live show tonight. And interview a musician and be super happy and interested in what he's up to. But, we'll make it work. Brianne, sorry, I'll think on that and I'll get back to you on the next podcast. Ow. Uh-oh. Do me a favor, remind me in the comments so that I can give some thought to that. And Alex Jimenez says, hey, guys, thanks for always keeping up the good work. This season of the show has been so good. I really hope they can keep it up with season 10. What are some of your favorite 80s movies? License to Drive, Goonies, Princess Bride. Justin, give me one more okay from Judith, please. JP, man, what are your favorite? And I agree with you 100%. I think, I don't want to speak for JP, but I think he agrees, Alex, that yes, this season has been super good. One of the best seasons of the show in a while, and I really do hope they keep it up in season 10.
Agreed.
I mean, it's been wonderful. Even the slower episodes, I've still very much enjoyed. And okay, so JP, favorite 80s movies, man. I'm going to go ahead and say for me that I love The Princess Bride. I like Goonies okay. I think a lot of people liked it more than I did. I did not like it. I didn't love it the way most did, but I definitely loved like Princess Bride. What are yours, JP? Give us
I really love RoboCop.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, RoboCop.
Old Red from that Red Foreman from that 70s show was the bad guy.
Big forehead having mother. Also, like the original Terminator, I think is great.
Mm-hmm. You talking about because you know like the best Terminator, I think, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's, is the second one. Yeah, but you're talking about you're talking about the original Terminator, where Arnold was the bad guy.
Yeah, I think they're both great. I mean, it's hard for me to even put one above the other because they're so I mean, not drastic different, but you know what I'm saying.
Right. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's yeah. Well, they are. They're the same, but they are very different in their presentation.
The first one was more of a low budget kind of horror movie, whereas the second one was just a big blockbuster sci-fi action,
badass. Yeah.
And it still had some horror elements in it, man. That T-1000 was frightening.
When I was a child, when he comes running around the corner and he's chasing them. I can't remember what they're on, like a bus or something, but the T-1000 comes around the corner. I remember that. It was terrifying. And he used to stab people through the stomach with his... Oh, yeah, he was scary, man. Anything else you can think of?
Oh, man, I'm trying to think of something. Off the top of my head, man, I don't know. You know, I'm not very quick off the draw with thinking about stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm slow this morning. I was telling JP when I got in, I haven't been sleeping well at all this week. My dog likes to rest his head on my legs. He starts out sleeping on the floor, but his little sneaky ass likes to jump up in the bed once we're asleep, not conscious to tell him no, and he likes to, and it's cute, and I'm glad he wants to cuddle with my legs, but it hurts my back really, really bad. Like, really bad. And then I think I need a new bed. I think my mattress has just had it. It was awesome back in the day, but now it's just too soft. I don't know what it is. I got a lot on my mind. I got a lot of drama going on behind the scenes, so I don't know. I just have not been sleeping worth a damn. And so I don't know. I plan to get better sleep.
Brother,
I told JP when I come in this morning, I said, man, I'm dragging. Like,
let Uncle Leggy get your mind right later on today. We'll be in a much better place spiritually and metaphysically, and it'll be good.
Are you going to drug me with some DMT or something?
Man, I wish I had some. I have some psilocybin, but no DMT.
I don't even know what that is.
Mushrooms.
Oh,
it's the active ingredient of mushrooms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day.
I would say probably not the best thing to do before your remote broadcast tonight. But
man, you're playing the biggest guitar I've ever seen. Where did you get your second head? But my 80s movies that I loved. Well, actually, do TV shows count? Because the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles technically started in like the late 80s. The
cartoon. Yeah, they did.
That was like my favorite thing ever. Did DuckTales start in the 80s?
I don't know, man.
I love some DuckTales, man. DuckTales. I feel like it had to have started in like the late 80s.
Probably so.
Because when I was a little kid, I had Huey, Dewey, and Louie, like stuffed animals.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was like 2. So
yeah, you got to like. I mean, we're 90s. We were 80s babies, but we're 90s kids. So I mean,
we're not. Oh yeah, no.
If the question was more about the 90s, I think we both have a lot more to throw out there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, that's what I tell people. I'm like, man, I was born. It's like, so you're an 80s baby. I mean, technically, but I don't remember not one part of the 80s because I was born at the very end of it. Right. The 90s. The 90s were my kid years, and the 2000s were my teen years. You know what I mean? Like, the 90s were, and I mean, quite literally, the 90s ended, and then, like, I turned, like, a teenager, I think. Like, so, I mean, it's like, yeah, so the 90s. So, Alex, if you want to talk some 90s stuff, man, we'd love some 90s questions, because, man, we could go all day on that. We actually did a 90s nostalgia pod, two of them.
Did.
a podcast with our friend Jesse back when we used to have another channel that we will not name because it just was kind of.
No, I loved it, man. I'm proud of the work we did on there.
I was proud of the work y'all did. I was terrible,
but I still feel bad, for those '90s podcasts. Like we brought in a box of '90s stuff from our childhoods, and Jesse brought hers in for the second one, and you and I just kept rambling, and she never even got to open it.
She didn't, did she?
No,
I didn't
felt
realize
like such a
that.
jerk, but. Yeah, because you and I just started really just going back and forth, and
because we love the '90s.
Yeah,
and you had so much cool stuff, man. You had X-Men stuff and toys.
Yeah, I had a Darkwing Duck figure with basically like a lighter on his back.
Darkwing Duck.
So yeah,
Darkwing Duck was the shiznit.
Yeah, man, we might have to revisit that.
Yeah, if there's enough people out there that love the '90s and you want us to do a '90s nostalgia video podcast where we actually show some of our '90s stuff.
I'd be down.
That'd be cool as hell. So,
Yep.
I was going to go through the other videos, but I don't know if there's anything else. And we're kind of, well, we're not really running out of time, but we are. This podcast is a little short, but in terms of what time it is here compared to when we normally podcast, we usually have a little bit more time. Let me just glance through some of these other videos real quick and just see if there's a question off the top that we need to answer. If there's not, we shall wrap it up. I sound like a motorcycle.
Oh boy, but yeah.
I think that's generally it. If we missed something, I am so sorry. Try to leave it on this podcast, and we will definitely get to it next week. And yeah, so it's the weekend's right around the corner. We hope everybody has a fun and safe weekend. I recommend you party really hard, but I also recommend you to please be safe.
Nah, don't be safe.
Be safe. Don't listen to JP.
Do whatever you want.
Don't listen to JP. Be safe. If you're going to drink a lot. I might find myself, what is it, Saturday? Oh, no, we have to deal with the race.
Yeah, I was going to say.
For the radio station. I was going to say, I might find myself at a brewery, but I'm also not going to drive. So if you're going to drink, don't drive. If you're going to do hardcore drugs, maybe don't. Or if you absolutely have to, make sure someone that you trust is around you. Just don't do hardcore drugs.
Look, nothing exceeds like excess. You're going to die anyway.
I said
so
hardcore drugs, now keep in mind. So I'm
want.
talking like hard stuff. Just don't do hardcore drugs. They're bad for you.
Nah, do them.
Don't listen to Uncle JP.
I mean, try to avoid needles, but there's so many things that you can snort or smoke. So
oh my God!
Don't inject.
All right, so
you don't want HIV.
Consider hitting that subscribe button. Also, hit the follow button if you're listening on YouTube, so that you will get notifications when we podcast. If you're listening on SoundCloud, give us a follow, maybe a little heart. Something to that effect. Share us with your friends, and we will catch you bright and early Monday morning, fresh, relaxed, and ready to go with what may be the one of the most devastating episodes of The Walking Dead ever, if not the most devastating episode. I'm really, like I said, we won't spoil it for people that haven't read the comics, but I'm really hoping that they don't. There's this horrible thing that happens in the comics, and I'm really hoping that's not where they end the season, because you don't need cliffhangers to keep us coming back. You know what I'm saying? Like, in this episode with that is fine, but then come back, for one more before we're about to be like 8 months without The Walking Dead.
We'll see what happens, I guess.
We'll see what happens. We'll be your therapists to get you through it. We'll catch you Monday morning. I'm Justin.
And I'm JP.
And we're the Podcasting Dead.
Use the bathroom.